You're listening to international investment advisor Doug Goldstein on the Goldstein on Gelt show, the financial show where we'll talk about how you can make the most of your money. With all the confusing financial chatter bombarding you each and every day, Goldstein on Gelt will give you the practical information you want and need about living a financially stable life. Here's your host, money maven Doug Goldstein.
We are back. We are talking with Mark Kaplan. Mark is the president and the chief distribution officer of the P2 Group, which is located in Bermuda. Mark is responsible there for overseeing sales and marketing and operations in the P2 Group. And before that, he had been the head of global sales and marketing for Old Mutual. Mark also tells me that he had been a professional tennis player and, in fact, had spent some time in Israel. So though he is sitting right now in Connecticut, I would like to welcome you to the show here in Israel and sort of virtually welcome you back to Israel.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I look, I'm happy to be on the show, and we can catch up here.
Super. Listen, let me ask you a question. When I was first introduced to the P2 Group, one of the top issues that came up was the fact that you focus a lot on helping clients to protect their assets. And of course, the clients I deal with are always looking for ways to protect themselves. Could you tell me what's your solution?
Sure. As you know, the markets are extremely volatile, and have been the last couple of years. And what we've done is made a solution very retail. What we do is we offer regular mutual funds, which I think everyone have in their 401k or own directly. And we offer a simple protection around your own mutual funds where you can pick and choose certain investments and get protection. Most protected products are quite complicated. And what we do is we offer a very simple approach by allowing clients to choose mutual funds and get a protection around them.
I see. And you specifically work with a company called Milliman, which I know is very well known on the institutional side, the big money people. How can you work with them, and how do they work in this model with retail investors?
Right. I think that's a very good question, and that's really the core, of what we offer. I think what Milliman's been doing for the last 12 years is they've been offering this protection strategy around these mutual funds. However, they've been doing it directly with all the large life companies around the world. So they've been tracking, 6 million customers' accounts on all these different types of mutual funds, but they've been providing this to very large life companies around the world on an individual basis. So what we've been doing, and we worked with Milliman in my past company for the last 5 years, is we offered guarantees through Milliman, and this is an insurance guarantee. And what we're doing now is we're using Milliman's technology where they track every client's account on the mutual fund, and we're offering now for the first time this service directly to individual clients and customers. And that's really been the big difference.
Many times the sophisticated hedging strategies that people talk about are really only appropriate or used for institutions. Is it normal, or is this a new thing to have it with individual investors?
Right. No, I think that's the right question to ask, because what Milliman has been doing is they've been working on an individual basis with all these individual customers, about 6 million of them on all their life companies. And what we've done is we've made it a lot more retail, where customers can understand exactly what they're getting. And it's not something new. As I said, it's been going now for almost 12 years with Milliman, with the large life companies. And what we're doing is we just kind of individualize it, customizing it for each individual customer, and we've made it very retail.
Mm-hmm. So has it worked? Let's just look back 2 years ago when the market was really having a rough time. Were people who were hedged with your protection strategies in fact protected?
Absolutely. And what I'll do quickly is just kind of go through how it works. You can pick, let's say, a large U.S. fund and let's say it tracks the S&P. So, you've got a fund that invests in 500 stocks. What Milliman's doing is they're protecting those 500 stocks on the down. So if that fund falls, you're going to be protected in the sense that you're going to get all these cash positions paying off because the market has fallen. So it's a pretty simple approach. So if you go back in time and you look at all the bull and the bear periods, when markets are falling or rising, you just have this kind of correlation effect between the fund and a future And so, yes, it has worked. And if you look at what's happened in the past, it's worked very well.
Mm-hmm. We are talking to Mark Kaplan, who is the President and Chief Distribution Officer of the P2 Group, which is a Bermuda-based investment platform. Mark's explaining to us how they use certain strategies, hedging strategies, to help protect a portfolio. It always seems that there's a cost involved of protection, right? You don't get something for nothing. So doesn't that, over the long term, eat away at the results that clients will see because every year they have to pay for the protection, even in the years when the market goes up?
Right. If you take normal protected products with life companies, absolutely. Milliman offers or hedges guarantees, and there's a company that there's a cost that the life company applies, and some of these charges are high. What we have done is, because we've almost cut out the life insurance company in this aspect, and we're using pure futures without the extra capital and cost of a life company, we've reduced the expenses considerably. So, our base options, depending on what you select, are very cost effective. So all our hypotheticals and illustrations are net of all fees, and you can really see how the performance works. And these aren't expensive products, and they're very transparent. And I think that's the most important thing about what we're offering. There is no black box where you're trying to find out what some hedge fund manager is doing. It's very transparent, and it's very low cost.
Would you consider this a hedge fund, or is this a different type of product?
No, absolutely not. I think this is another key. I think really attractive feature to the solution is that what you're buying normal mutual funds, which you're going to hold in your own account. So if you buy X mutual fund, you'll have the units in your account. And what you're going to do is you're just going to have a cash position, and that cash position is just going to be margin against these futures that are going to be placed, for your account. So no, it's not. There's no directional or bets that a manager's placing. It's purely a correlation between a fund and a future, and you're going to keep that in your own account. So yeah, Milliman is really a system solution. It's not a manager where they're trying to pick the right stock at the right period of time, like a hedge fund or a normal mutual fund. So it's a simple strategy where you could own your own units and get call it an insurance protection around your mutual fund.
I see, but whatever is the cost of the insurance, at the end of the day you lose that money, but in return you're getting the protection, right?
Correct. So what you're having is you got your money placed in cash, which is almost the opportunity cost of not being in the market. So if you take $100,000, you put $80,000 in the fund, and you put $20,000 in this cash account, which you own. So if you liquidate tomorrow, you can redeem all $100,000. One of the key features is everything is liquid, so there's no surrender charges or chargebacks. But yes, you'll have X amount in cash, which is the opportunity cost of not being in the market. And then you got an annual charge, which can vary between 1% and 1.5%, that gets taken out of the units and the cash position. Mm-hmm. And yes, so when the markets are going up, you'll participate. It's at 80% on the upside because you're 80% invested. And when the markets are falling, your futures and your cash positions would rise because you'd be in the money. And if you want your money tomorrow, you can liquidate straight away and get your assets.
We always tell people that past performance is no guarantee of future returns. Do you think people should, in fact, be looking at your past performance to anticipate what they could expect, or is there really no way to get a sense of what people should be expecting now?
No, I think, and if you take normal mutual funds or normal investment, absolutely. You look back and you say, well, this fund did X, and look at the market environment, and what was the manager choosing, and can he do this moving forward? I think this is the attractive part of the product is that you don't have a manager that's trying to pick or make a bet. What you basically got is an operational solution where you're just basically having mutual funds matched to futures. So whether you look back a year, 2 years, or different cycles in the market, moving forward, you're going to have the same types of periods where your fund is going to go up, down, or sideways. So by looking back and using the illustration, it is a predictor of what's going to happen in the future in regards to how the futures are going to behave, because you're going to have the fund moving up, down, or sideways, and these futures are going to be doing the same types of things based on Milliman's systems and actuarial expertise. So I would recommend looking, back and seeing how this thing would have worked in all market environments, because moving forward you may have the same situations coming around.
Mm-hmm. Okay. We have been speaking with Mark Kaplan, who is the President and Chief Distribution Officer of the P2 Group. Mark, as the last question, maybe you could tell people who want to get more involved or maybe even for themselves, what would be the next step for them?
Sure. Well, I think the most important thing is really work with your advisor. I think Profile Investments in Israel is a partner of ours, and we work with only unique partners that offer these types of solutions, and that's the way I would do it. You can go online to our website at p2platform.com, and we'll just speak to your local Profile Investment advisor.
Mark Kaplan, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you very much.
Take care.
You've been listening to the Goldstein on Gelt Show with money maven Doug Goldstein. Doug's weekly radio show is heard around the world, but if you miss it, you can download the podcast at www.goldsteinongelt.com. The Goldstein on Gelt Show gives you up-to-date financial ideas so you can get on the path to financial freedom. If you'd like your questions answered on the air or off, send Doug an email to doug@profile-financial.com. It's your money for your future, so join Doug every week to build your wealth on the Goldstein on Gelt Show.